It is my pleasure to introduce the next guest to Off Court. He was a national junior coach for the Croatian Tennis Association. He created his own academy in Croatia. From 2003 to 2017, he was an ITF and Tennis Europe Development Officer. He's currently working with the Finnish Tennis Association, helping them develop their national junior programs. He is a very, very knowledgeable man, a passionate educator, an ongoing learner, and it is my pleasure to welcome Hervoje Zmajic to Off Court.
Thank you, Jason, and I would like to also thank you for inviting me to talk to you on Off Court today. I hope I will justify the nice words that you just said about me, and would like, before we start, to say that as a coach and development officer, I traveled a lot around the world. Nevertheless, I just had a few opportunities to work with Asian coaches, and I hope that today we can actually create some kind of the introduction of myself to your colleagues and audience in Hong Kong.
Yeah, well, I'm super excited. I mean, I have read some of your work and I love it. And I want to dive straight in and talk about this game development pathway that you've created. It is complicated, but I would like, if possible, if you could break that down in a nutshell for all the parents, players, and coaches out there. And let's see if we can understand a little bit of what magic you do.
First of all, I believe that ultimate goal of every coach is to develop a player's game. Even though player's game is individual, there are some common stages in developing the game of all the players. So in this pathway, actually, what is important is to understand the playing competencies that are describing and defining each level of the game, and to relate them with the key skills, what will actually enable a coach to work on the right things at the right time in order to develop the game. So if I may use a very simple example to illustrate it, the simplest, or the first level of the game, better to say, is, we all call it also cooperative rally.
Okay.
So if you would like to describe the playing competencies, the player has to, should have a competence of starting the rally, should show intention to play several shots in a row, and also to bring what I call misfits of the partner back to the court. Misfits, why? Because they are not really consciously play away from each other. And for actually showing these competencies, the player should have some skills. The first, what I would like to mention, and is in my opinion, very often the reason why the kids at the age of 4, 5, 6 are not achieving this level easily, is the value of cooperation. Because if you don't value and understand the meaning of cooperation, what is so typical for the kids at the age of 4 or 5, imagine that actually, I don't know if you have a son, but when the two kids at the age of 4 or 5 play at the sand beach, you never see them actually building one sand castle together. They destroy each other's sand castles and quarreling about the toys that they will play with. So this is one of the key skills that they should have for this level. Another element is actually to be able to read and react to the incoming balls, different incoming balls. Actually, the tactics to define or to actually decide if you will play forehand or backhand shot. And then also lateral agility to get to the ball. And at the end, I deliberately put it at the end, is a technical skills like controlling the racket face and having smooth racket around the contact points in order to be able to control the sending ball. So that would be just a simple way to describe what it means to have a playing level described with observable behavior in the game, playing competencies, and then to have a combination of the key skills that enable them to appear in the game, to be shown in the game.
Okay, so Hrvoje, we're gonna maybe, if I can, negotiate with you, stick your PDF or at least give access to some of your information to everyone out there. But I want to ask you, how many coaches around the world do you think are following a systematic structure the way you have created one?
Actually, I don't think I really created it. The game is there, and I didn't invent it. Also, I learned from some smart people. And actually, when I was young coach, I realized that experienced coaches always look at the player's game, and then by understanding what are the challenges by the next level and skills needed, they are focusing on these right things at the right time in order to prepare and move the player to the next level. So I would not say that I actually invented it. It was more, I would say, recognizing it and putting in some framework on the paper. Intuitively, the coaches with a lot of playing experience apply it intuitively, I would say.
So this is kind of leads into the next question I was going to ask, which is how much of the information that you have translated and put onto a systematic structure and onto paper for people to understand is scientifically based, or does a lot of it come from your experiences or other coaches' experiences and intuition? And can coaches use their experience and intuition, or do they need to know the science behind this?
So first of all, I believe that a good coach needs both. Need to have some knowledge in science, but also should let his intuition work for him. Science is providing reliable and objective information. Experience is the way to test it for yourself. And intuition, in my opinion, enables a coach to connect these learned facts with own experience and own coaching philosophy. So, for example, preparing the practices, coaches for sure should actually use science in one or the other way. But on court, they should be able to, what I like to say, to look at players' eyes and don't stick to the plans and numbers, but to look at players' eyes and react in order to create the atmosphere and relationship and all the other elements that are real coaching on court.
So that makes sense to me. It's like you need the foundation of science because that's going to give you the confidence as a coach. It's going to give you the framework, but you want to add your flavor, your personality into your delivery.
Yeah.
Okay.